In this video, I'm going to show you how every single baseball player, all the way from the major leagues down to the little tiny T-baller, can improve their confidence anywhere. Now, when talking about confidence at the plate, a lot of people think that it's just a mindset change, right? Like I can just think this different thought as soon as I get in the box and now I'm going to turn into Albert Pujols and just hit 350 my entire career. Or whatever he did during his career. But the point is, it goes so much deeper than that. It's not going to be just one tiny little change. It's an actual series that you're going to have to prepare for, and it's going to take time. But if you actually want to make something out of your career, you got to be willing to put in the time. So, let's get into it. My name is Matt Ross, and if you're on social media, you've probably seen one of my videos by now from a page called ATS Performance. This stick can actually make you throw harder. It's not a magic stick. Welcome back to Training Tip Tuesday. That's just the name of my page when I started, and I haven't changed it since. Now, I'm here to make sure that you know all the things that I wish that I knew during my career, so you don't make the same mistakes. So if you want to see more videos like these, go ahead and subscribe, and now we can get into how you can have more confidence at the plate. By the way, don't judge me for the Falcons hoodie. It's 15 degrees here. It's a comfy hoodie. You don't have to comment the whole 28-3 thing. I already know. Putting the Falcons aside, here's step number one in how to increase your confidence. Now, it actually kind of starts in a place like this. Now, I know everyone doesn't have access to a facility, but what I mean is that it starts in practice completely away from the game, the field, all of it. So one of my favorite sayings that I came up with is that confidence comes from preparation. And if you don't feel confident, that means you're not prepared. Now, I know you might be putting a lot of work in practice, but if you're taking hundreds and hundreds of swings, but then you still step in the box and feel like you can't hit a moving baseball, you might be training the wrong way. Now, of course, yes, it's good to grind, it's good to put in the work, but you gotta make sure you're doing the right thing. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. Let's say that I go down to my basement and I can take 100 swings off the tee, swing feels good, but in reality, how much better are you getting? Because hear me out. The ball's only going about 5-10 feet in front of you, so you don't really know where it's going. Are you top spinning, back spinning? And on top of that, the ball's not moving. So how do you expect to get better just off of a tee? Now look, this is what I'm saying. I know everyone's situation is different, so I'm not saying that you need to go spend hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of dollars just to get into a batting cage. But it's so much more than just taking a normal swing off of a tee. That's when we start to get into videoing, starting to reach out to different instructors. There's so many other options than just going down and swinging as hard as you can. When you're talking about your preparation, if you're sitting here watching this video and you know that the next time you step in the box, you're gonna face 80, 90, or whatever the fast speed is for your age, kind of need to train for it. But Matt, how do I train if I don't have somebody to pitch to me? There's lots of different ways. First, you can work on your hand-eye coordination. That's something as simple as you can take the tiny little kidney beans or even plastic wiffle balls, throwing them up and hitting them. You can have somebody throw those same things to you. Or you can even take this baseball, throw it up in the air, let it bounce, and then hit it. Now, I'm not gonna do that, simply because I have my sidekick here chewing on another baseball, which is Oakley. Say hi, Oakley. He cares more about chewing on that baseball than anything else. Anyways, so there's multiple ways, but whatever your way is, you just need to make sure that you are preparing the right way, not just grinding just to say that you're doing extra work. So once again, step number one, make sure that you're preparing the right way, because in reality, if you're stepping into the box and you feel like you can't hit, whose fault is that? You're doing all this other training outside of the game, but then what is it for if it doesn't make you feel ready in the box? Now, we can get deeper into that in another video of warm-ups and the right way to train and all that, but when we're talking specifically about confidence, if you're someone who doesn't have confidence, step number one, look at how you're training or preparing. Step number two, I hear it all the time, and honestly, I dealt with it myself during my career, of being afraid to fail, not because you just struck out, but because you're afraid of what your teammates might think, you're afraid of what your coach might think, or if you're in a similar situation, you might get pulled if you have one bad at bat. Now, these are the things that you can't really control, right? You can't control other people's reactions, and you certainly can't control your coach's decision if you have a bad at bat, whatever that might be. So, what do? You flip it. Only focus on what you can control. Now, I know this is harder than what it seems, but just hear me out, and here's how you can go through it. We know that if you get folded on a slider in the dirt, you're probably gonna get laughed at by your dugout, and who knows, maybe even the other team's dugout. If we wanna boil it down like this, you're the one that swung at the slider in the dirt. Yeah, it sucks to be laughed at, but once again, we're talking about how to increase your confidence. Well, Swing decisions come into that. So step number 2, control what you can control. When you step into the box, there's really only one thing to be focusing on, which is hitting the ball that the pitcher's throwing at. Simple, right? Well, kinda. By now, you should have been studying the pitcher. What has he been throwing? Is the fastball the only thing that he's able to throw for a strike? Maybe he's super wild and the curveball's the only thing that he can throw over the plate. If that's the case, and we know that his fastball's the only thing that he's got for a strike, guess what we're not swinging at? Anything else. Now, this is where it can get simple. Yes, I understand that if you strike out looking, that you might get pulled. But you have other pitches in the at-bat that you can hit as well. Now look, I'm not saying to never strike out. You're going to fail. But the thing is you can help your confidence and knowing within your own mind that you can have a better shot at it. So once again, step in the box. You've already studied the pitcher. Let's say we know that his fastball is the only thing. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm on time. I'm on time for his fastball, boom. Okay, maybe he got called a strike, maybe it didn't. So when you step in the box, and I know that the fastball is the only thing that he's got over the plate, I'm on time for his fastball, and that is the only thing that I'm looking at. Oh, he started me off with a curveball? I'm not swinging. Bam, right away, confidence increased. Because I know I saw the curveball out of his hand. He didn't get me with it, it's 1-0. Guess what? He's probably gonna come back with a fastball. I know I'm on time, ready, boom, whatever, right? And once again, I'm not hitting because I got a 100-pound golden retriever over there. Step number 2, control what you can control. I know your coach can be scary sometimes and you're afraid of what your teammates might think, but in reality, you're the only one in control of yourself in that box. So if you study the pitcher correctly and you've prepared enough, you can control what pitches you swing at, if you're on time or not, and your reaction to anything else. Now, I can make a whole long video on your reaction and what it says about you, but I'll say this. Getting mad at the umpire does nothing. Literally nothing. He's not going to change your call. He might throw you out if you say the wrong thing, and then you got to walk back because you completely embarrassed yourself. So once again, step number 2, control what you can control. Timing, reaction, your routine. There's so many things that go into that, but for the sake of this video, I'll leave it at that. And lastly, as weird as it might sound, step number 3 is breathing. That's kind of weird, right? I know what you might be thinking, how can breathing help my confidence because I got to breathe to live? And I understand that, but here's what I mean. You can control your breath. So in other words, if you're not confident, it probably means like you're kind of nervous stepping in the box and your heart rate is just going 1,000,000 miles an hour. Well, if we control our breath and slow the breathing down, you're going to slow your heart rate down, you're going to calm down, and now you're a little bit more relaxed in the box and ready to get in the right state of mind. So no matter if you're nervous or not, you should have your breath under control. Here's what that would look like. It even starts from on deck. So I'm on deck getting ready. Just literally pick a spot on your bat. Deep breath. Relax the shoulders a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna get my timing. Big deep breaths all the way through. Boom. You know, whatever your on deck routine is, but make sure it's in through the nose, out through the mouth, relax the shoulders. Same thing once you get in the box. Pick a spot on your back. Ready, into your routine, relax shoulders. You're ready to go. Controlling your breathing is one of the most important things in all of sports, and you can hear Olympians, pros, whoever talk about, just the highest of the highest levels talk about controlling their breathing. So if they're doing it, you should too. You can even do it in the dugout. If you're on the rail or even sitting down, just close your eyes for a second. Slow your heart rate. Open your eyes, you're ready to go. No matter what level you're at, it always happens. At some point, your heart rate's gonna be elevated. You're gonna feel nervous, anxious, even if it's a good feeling. Control your breath. Calm yourself down. And by then, your mind starts to think clearly again. And guess what? Your confidence comes right back because you're not nervous anymore. And I understand it's easier said than done, right? But these are all little tips that you need to work on and use during the game, during practice, during even just hitting off of a tee by yourself. Use these tips so you can get better and start to feel more confident as you go into the game. So let's recap. Confidence comes from preparation. And if you're not confident, you probably didn't prepare right, which means step number 1 is make sure that you are prepared way before the game. If you have to look at how you're training, maybe you have a specific routine you need to change. Maybe you're not preparing at all and just expecting to hit 90 miles an hour on any given day of the week. And if that's how you do you, then let's talk. Step number 2, control what you can control. You can't control anyone else's reactions. You can control your own, and you can also control the decisions that you make in the box. So if you're afraid of having a bad at bat, or you're afraid of what your teammates might think, or honestly, you just don't want to strike out, which is fair, start to think more about what pitches you're going to swing at in the box, the timing that you have with the pitcher, instead of the reaction, what's going to happen after that. So once again, it's going to take some time, and this is not going to happen overnight, but it's still something that you need to work on, that the next time that you're standing in that box is, okay, let me make sure I'm on time, and let me make sure I'm only swinging at the pitches that I know that I can hit. And then finally, step number 3, control your breathing. It's easier said than done, but you're gonna need to trust me on this one, and just try it. Whether you're on deck, in the box, or even in the dugout, just next time, just relax the shoulders, let yourself, and believe that you can calm yourself down. And now you're ready to go. Now there are plenty of other tips that I can give, but these are what I believe to be the 3 most important ones that I've seen in my career. If you have any other tips that you like or you disagree, be nice, but you can leave it in the comments below. Hopefully soon I can get out on the field and we can do some more content like this, but in the meantime, I'm gonna be in a cage because I don't like to be out in 15-degree weather, so enjoy the beautiful view of this facility. Once again, my name is Matt Ross, and these are the things that I wish I knew when I played, so go be great today. Oh, and make sure you subscribe.